Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada, capital city of British Columbia. I hope that all of you have had an awesome week, and I hope that you're looking forward to a fantastic weekend. Welcome to this IELTS class focusing on the reading section. We are going to read a passage about the city of 1,000 windows. Welcome, Fuang. Hi, Domenico, Dylan. Nice to see our members. Romelia, Angel. Good to see our subscribers. Rabin, No User, and Riyadh. Welcome, all of you. Lovely to have you. Students, this is a subscribers chat class, so if you want to join the chat, all you need to do is just subscribe to this channel, which is a great idea. It's free. It helps you to improve your communication and your English for your IELTS exam. These lessons are powered through our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Both of those websites have tons and tons of reading materials for you, reading exams, original tests for you to practice, improve your reading fluency and comprehension. We are working on this passage here today, the city of 1,000 windows. Again, the websites with the content are aehelp.com. You click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment and you get lifetime access. Extremely easy to use, very effective, helps you improve your vocabulary, your communication skills quickly, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. We're an IDP affiliate, we're a British Council partner, we're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent. We are here to help you. We help thousands of students every single day. For the the general IELTS, it's the green background, gieltshelp.com. And again, just click that big red button there. That's just right above my head. It's a one-time payment and you are off to the races. You're good to go. Students, if you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Both of those emails will get you in touch with me or my colleagues to get your questions answered. And subscribing is a sure way to get notification of our weekly live class schedules like this one. Right now we've got reading. Tomorrow we've got speaking part 2, speaking part 3. So lots more coming up. And we always release new videos as well. So when you subscribe, you get those new video notifications. This is a speaking video. Hello again, Alexi. Welcome, Carolina, our chat moderators. There's the video for you in the chat. You can use that to practice your speaking when you have a bit of time. We'll highlight that for you. All right, reading strategies. First one, read the title, right? So read the title and think about the content. Okay? So visualize it, picture it. Picture the city of 1,000 windows. Here, the title is The City of 1,000 Windows. Now, obviously it's a city that has a lot of windows, right? So you don't have to say, oh, it's about a city with a lot of windows. Yes, I get that. We get that. Okay, what else do you think it might mean? So what kind of information may a passage have that is titled A City of 1,000 Windows? Okay, what do you think? So what kind of information would the author include? Obviously it's a location, right? And just I'm curious where this city is. Amra says maybe it's a city with some high density population. Maybe. Oh, absolutely, Rabin. The course provides reading module. We provide all the modules and strategies. Yes, of course. All right. And so Angel says, is it New York? New York's got a lot of windows. Is it Dubai? We don't know yet. Elizabeth says probably some tourism. So it seems like it's a touristy place. Sure. Okay. Well, if I'm going to write about a city of 1,000 windows, I will probably write about the history of the city. The reason it has so many windows. Okay. So that will definitely be the location, right? Where it is, for sure. Some of you are asking, like, where is it? The location. All right. And so population, quite possibly. The culture of the city, right? Okay. Yeah. Angel says it might have a lot of skyscrapers. Maybe. Well, let's try to get some more information. So the next step when you read this, the city of 1,000 windows, is to look at the questions. Hopefully that will get you a bit more information. Now, this type of question is really good. It says, choose no more than 2 words from the passage for each answer. Now, by the way, everybody, this is an academic IELTS reading passage, but the general IELTS reading section 3 is very, very similar. You could easily have this passage there too. So good practice for both. Title of summary topic. That means that basically they're giving you a summary of this passage. So it's good to read this before you read the passage, okay? So let's do this. This is reading, so we're going to read together. Beginnings. The mythical origin of Bharat involves a battle between two something concerning the affections of a certain woman named Tomor and Spirag. They live on today in the form of two something surrounding the city of Bharat. Okay, great. I know that we're now going to read about the city of Bharat. Nipa says, I heard it is in Albania. Indeed, Nipa. Good. Violence strikes. Bharat is thought to be about 2,500 years old. Soon after this time, when it was a Macedonian fortress, the something destroyed the city and killed all males over the age of 15. Ay, ay, ay. Alexi, it is not New York. Later, Bharat was given the name something because of its importance in culture and beauty in the Byzantine Empire. Now, Alexi, if you're thinking New York, you shouldn't think New York because New York has a different nickname. It's called the Big Apple. So it wouldn't be called the City of 1,000 Windows. It's called the Big Apple. So it's not New York. Okay. All right. Guarding Bharat. The fortress on top of Osum River's north bank is known as the something of Bharat. It is over 1,500 years old and was repaired approximately 800 years ago. It once held many religious institutions, including a something and 20 Christian houses of worship. Okay. Yes, no, not given. Whew. Nope. Let's skip those. Not helpful. Always skip questions where you have no idea what is the right answer, okay? Because they will just confuse you. You don't know if it's in the passage, okay? Do not read yes, no, not given, true, false, not given questions before the passage. In the computer-based exam, it's really easy to ignore them because you can't really see them until you click on them, okay? Multiple choice. Only read the question or the statement. Don't read the choices, okay? It's a waste of time because there are 2, 3, 4 choices that are wrong. No. So just the question. Which of the following phrases best describes the main aim of the reading passage 3? Okay. When you read a question like this, which of the following phrases best describes the main aim of reading passage 3? That tells you that skimming and scanning will probably not help. You have to read the passage. It's very difficult, if not impossible, to get the main aim of a reading passage without reading it. Okay? All right, so we have to, so this question doesn't tell me much, but it does tell me that I should read the whole passage. Okay? Once. You should not be skimming and and scanning the passage over and over. All right. Alexi says, that was a joke. Yes, Alexi, I got it. Okay, everybody. So the next step is to read. Okay, so we're going to read it together. Let's read together. If there are some difficult words, don't stress. If you fall behind, just jump ahead. Don't stress. Okay, this video is recorded. You will have another chance. Okay. Read with me. I will read with a speed that is enough for the IELTS. It's important that you visualize, see the city, picture the city. You are in the city. You are there. You are a citizen of Berat. Okay? And comprehend, create the structure, create the story in your head so you know what is first, second, third, fourth. Okay? Here we go. Always start with the title. The City of 1,000 Windows. According to an Albanian legend, Berat, the City of 1,000 Windows, as it is affectionately known, was brought into being by a fight among the gods over the love of a woman. Two ancient giants, represented by the nearby mountains Tomor and Shparag, killed each other in the battle for the woman's heart. Emotionally distraught over the deaths, the woman cried unendingly. She cried so much that her tears of sorrow created the Osum River, which bisects Berat, and she drowned in this river of her own tears. Berat is an ancient city and is believed to be approximately 2,500 years old. Though the historical record is unclear. Historians think the original inhabitants of the area were the ancient Greek tribe known as the Dasaritai. Later, the settlement became a Macedonian fortress in what was then southern Illyria. One of the most gruesome events in the town's history occurred in 200 BC, when it was attacked by the Roman army led by Lucius Apustius. His army destroyed the city's defense and killed every male citizen over the age of 15 in what must have been a terrible massacre. During the Byzantine period, following the fall of the western half of the Roman Empire, Berat was known as Polycharopolis, a name which was derived from Pulcheria, the sister of Roman Emperor Theodosius II. This name was not given casually. Pulcheria was highly respected throughout the empire and was considered a co-regent alongside her brother, the emperor. Berat was given this name because it was an important center of culture, wealth, and beauty in the empire. The heart of Berat for centuries has been the castle atop a rocky hill on the north bank of the Osum River. The citadel of Berat, as it is sometimes known, began before the Roman invasion, rebuilt by Theodosius II in the 5th century CE, and rebuilt again in the 13th century by local Byzantine government. At its peak in the 1200s, the fortress housed thousands of citizens, 20 churches, the city was overwhelmingly Christian, 1 mosque, and other shops and services. To this day, hundreds of Albanians live within the castle walls. Though most of the churches have been destroyed and the mosques exist only in minor ruins, much of the housing remains intact from the period. The early modern period of Berat, 16th to 18th centuries, was dominated by the Ottoman Empire. Construction during this time reflected both the Ottoman influence and the influence of Islam. By 1670, the city was home to a Muslim majority, less than 100 years after being almost entirely Christian. The construction of this time period largely remains to the present day and is the origin of Berat's nickname, the City of 1,000 Windows, as the Ottoman aesthetic favored relatively large and plentiful windows. This design, along with the city's layout along the hillside embankment of the Osum River, which allows visitors to see much of the city's housing at one time, gave the impression that Berat was a city dominated by windows. To this day, visitors to the city quickly understand the city's nickname, as the windows continue to dominate the cityscape. The end of the Ottoman Empire in the early 20th century coincided with the rise of Albanian nationalism and the creation of the modern Albanian state in 1913. Albania endured Nazi occupation in the 20th century, as well as the iron-fisted rule of communist dictator Enver Hoxha from 44 to 85. Hoxha's rule was commemorated on the side of nearby Mount Shparag, one of the mythical giants from Berat's origin legend mentioned above. In 1968, with the colossal painting of his name, visible for miles, the letters, each 100 meters high and 60 meters wide, dominated the skyline above Berat for decades. If you visit Berat today, however, the mountainside letters look slightly different. In 2012, as part of a documentary film project, a 58-year-old farmer and his nephew effectively switched the first two letters by power washing and repainting, resulting in the word never adorning the mountainside. Never again would the proud Albanian people fall into the grips of dictatorship, and never again would the people of Berat venerate their past oppressor. Berat, an ancient city which has seen rulers and regimes come and go, has been the one constant. From the Illyrians, Romans, and Byzantines to the Ottomans, Nazis, and communists, Berat has been through a lot, and still, the city of 1,000 windows persists unbroken. Okay. Awesome. Very nice. Hopefully everybody was reading there with me together, right? That's the idea. Now, I'm going to read with you. So you're going to read, and we're going to discuss the content, maybe some vocabulary, and then I'm going to get your help to answer questions, and we will talk strategy on how to answer these questions. All right, everybody, let's do some volunteer reading. Fun times ahead. I'll show you how, and I'm sure our moderators will help here as well. So to volunteer for reading is the same idea as for speaking classes. Okay. So to volunteer for reading, first you need to register a free or a paid account at aehelp.com. Okay. Both Carolina and Alexi have put the instructions into the chat. Follow their instructions. Follow my instructions. So we go to aehelp.com. You can join the premium version of our course by clicking the big red button up there. Okay, I highly recommend joining the premium version if you have a few dollars to invest in your IELTS learning. And then go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, you will see many different features: computer-based practice exams, interactive course, exam books, lesson videos, lots more. And you will also see this student partner speaking. Okay. Now in the student partner speaking, you click on that, accept the terms. The terms basically say you're responsible for your words and actions in here. Okay. And then you will see a wonderful list of members and students. Premium students will have premium student next to their names. And then you can volunteer to read. We've got Alexi, Romelia volunteering. Let's start with our moderator, Alexi. We'll get Alexi to show us what to do here. Alexi, are you ready? Alexi says yes. Good. Alexi, sounds like you picked up, but I do not hear you. You might want to check your VPN or check your connection. Okay. Let me give Romelia a chance while you check out what's going on there, Alexi. Okay. Are you there? I can almost hear something on your end. All right. Let me see if Romelia is there, and then Alexi, I'll circle back. Okay. All right, Romelia, if you're there, give me a sign. Hopefully it's not the server, but it should be okay.
Hello.
Hi, Romelia. How are you today?
Not bad.
Not
Thank you.
bad. Okay. All right.
Weekend.
Weekend's coming, right? You got to be good. You got to be excited. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, Romelia, help me out here. I'll ask you to read a bit. Focus. Don't rush, okay? Sometimes I find when you read, it's a little bit fast. So try to be a little bit slower, a little bit more intonation, okay?
Okay.
And really picture yourself in this
I want
situation.
to practice my not reading.
Okay.
Pronunciation skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So focus on nice, clear pronunciation, intonation, okay? You should see the passage in front of you in just a moment on YouTube. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
I can see it. Okay. According to an Albanian legend...
Stop. Romelia, always from the title, okay?
Okay. The city... Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The city of 1,000 windows. Read aloud. According to an Albanian legend, Berat, the city of 1,000 windows, as it is affectionately known, was brought into being by a fight among the gods over the love of a woman. Two ancient giants, represented by the nearby mountains, Tamor and Shiprak, killed each other in the battle for the woman's heart. Emotionally distraught over the deaths, the woman cried unendingly. She cried so much that her tears of sorrow created an awesome river which beset Berat, and she drowned into the river of her own tears.
Okay. All right. Romelia, what is this paragraph about in a very simple way?
About the origin of Berat.
Okay, can you replace the word origin with a better word? It should start with an L, this word.
Genesis, or no, I don't know.
L-E-G are the first three letters. It is about the legend. That's right. It is about the legend of Berat, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree that that's the simplest way to summarize myth. That? Yeah, the myth. Sure, myth would be a good one too. Very good, Romelia. Very good. I almost called you Carolina. Myth. Yes, absolutely. So the legend or the myth of Berat. All right, now, Romelia, when you read this paragraph, to remind yourself that you need to be a part of the information, right? Because a lot of people tell me for the IELTS that, hey, I can read in English and I understand a lot of English, but when I read a passage, I forget what I'm reading. So you need to become a part of it. You need to make sure it's interesting, exciting for you. You've been in these classes before. What do you think is a good way to engage this information, to make yourself a part of this information? How could you do that in this case, in this story, in this paragraph? What could you visualize?
The duel for the woman between the...
Yeah, Yeah, you're the woman. You're the woman, right? Romelia, you're the woman. There's these two giants fighting for your love, right? So that's seriously,
Why
right?
not? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me do a little picture. So this is stick woman version of Romelia, right? And the stick woman version of Romelia is, there's a lot of love quarreling going on here. And there's two giants. Now, those two giants are mountains, right?
Yeah.
Okay, according to the geography of this first paragraph. So everybody will see where I'm going with this. It's so I haven't lost my mind here, and I haven't become an artist instead of a teacher. So they're fighting. There's some friction there. Okay, they're fighting against each other, and you're very sad about this. So you're crying. Let's make that blue.
Yeah.
So you're crying. You're crying, and there's a river suddenly there, right? From all your tears.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, up pops the city of Berat around this river. Okay. All right. And well, unfortunately, as tragedies go, Romelia, you fall into this river and you perish. Okay, you die. So it's a very tragic kind of story at the end of the day. But not only is it a legend, so you didn't just simply read a legend here, but you actually read an interesting way to describe the geography of the city as well, right?
Exactly.
So we start to get an idea of the geography of the city based on this legend, right? The Osum River, the two mountains. So it's a very powerful visualization here. And when the author invests this level of creativity into giving you both the geography and the legend together, it's your job as the reader to give that effort to visualize, become a part of the story, so that you can answer questions about it in the future. Would you agree with me on that? Yeah, right. So there's a lot there. Also, for those of you who really enjoy literature out there, we read the whole passage, right? Romelia, you were here with yeah. And I don't know if you realize this second reading, but for me it was interesting to realize that the legend actually matches, it coincides with the history of Berat. So Berat seems to have this very tragic history, right, with all of these conflicts and occupations. And notice how even thousands of years ago, the legend of Berat is this conflict of giants and the death of this woman. So it's very tragic. So it's like this, I don't know if I'd want to live in Berat after noticing that the legend and the history all seems to have this tragedy behind it. It seems like, I don't want to say this, but it almost seems like the place is cursed with tragedy. So yeah, I'd think twice before buying my vacation home in Berat. But anyway, Romelia, thank you so much for reading that paragraph and for sharing.
Thank you too.
Okay, bye, Romelia.
Bye.
All right, thumbs up to Romelia. She was our first reader. All right, Alexi, not sure what happened there. Let's try to circle back. Okay, Alexi says I've set it up. All right, let me give you a ding here. So are you ready? It sounds like Alexi has maybe fixed the issue here. Okay. And then we'll give Alexi a chance to read the next body paragraph. So hang in there, students. I'm going to get the help of many of you to read, answer questions, and we'll go through step by step together. Hello, Alexi. Are you there? You seem to have set it up, but I'm not sure where you're routing from. If you're using a VPN, you might want to try a different location. Japan seems to be a good region to route through if you're using a VPN, everybody. It tends to change. Unfortunately, we use the same servers, we use the same system, but countries don't. Countries seem to change their routing systems depending on various situations. So try it out a different one, Alexi. Okay. All right. Let's jump to somebody maybe who we haven't heard from in the past little bit. Let's try Naladri, maybe from the bottom here. Naladri, are you ready? I'm not sure if I know I've spoken to Naladri, but I'm not sure if Naladri has had a chance to read yet. So we'll get Naladri reading if Naladri is there. Okay. Yeah, Alexi, it's sometimes tricky. I agree. We're not changing any aspect on our end, but the internet does.
Hello,
Hi, Naladri. How are you?
yes, I am Fanning. Hello, Adrian sir. I am from India.
Hi, Naladri. Yes, I think we spoke one time before, have we not?
Hello, Adrian sir. Are you listening my voice?
Yes, I am. Naladri, use the website, not YouTube. So mute YouTube. Turn YouTube to mute, and then make sure that you're listening to me through the website. But I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. Mute YouTube so we don't get the echo. All right, Naladri, I'll get you to read the next paragraph. You're going to see it on the screen here in just a second. So whenever you see it on your screen, just start reading from Bharat is an ancient city.
Okay, all right. Well, Bharat is an ancient city. Okay. Bharat is an ancient city and is believed to be approximately 250, 500 years old. Though the historical record is unclear, historian thinks the original inhabitants of the area where the ancient Greek tribe is known destroyed. Later, the settlement became a Macedonian fortress and fort- fortress in what was then southern Ilya. One of the most gruesome events in the town's history occurred in 2200 BC when it was attacked by Roman army led by Lucius Apostolius. His army destroyed the city's defense and killed every male citizen over the age of 15 in what must have been a terrible massacre.
Okay. Good job. We've got a bit of an echo from your side, but you know what? That is okay because it actually felt like you're in Bharat on the mountains and reading from the top of these mountains with the echo coming from the mountaintops of Bharat. So I thought it was quite good for the topic. All right. So what is this paragraph about, Naladra? Are you still with me, Naladri? Are you still there? Sounds like you muted your mic. Or you're changing your mic. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was good reading. There was definitely some echo there. All right, let me know in the chat. So what is this about, everybody? I don't know if it was too much echo, Adnan. I thought it was just the right amount. It felt like he was reading from the mountaintop. What is this about? You can answer me, people, in the chat. So it's not just the person that's reading. These questions should be going through everybody's head. So what is a simple way? Rabin says history. History is too simple, Rabin. So what is this paragraph about? Okay. Alexi says the history of shifting between empires, kind of. Okay. I would say that there's a better way to say this. I would say this as, I don't know if I would call it the invasion of the Macedonians. Okay, so simplify, everybody, and try to be concise. So I would say that this paragraph is the ancient. Okay, so they say the city is about 2,500 years old, right? So you have to create a timeline. Students, this is a very important tip. So keep this in mind. This we haven't talked about this tip too much yet, but this is a good tip to know or to note. Okay, so tip: when you have a passage that gives the history of a person, place, or object, event, or idea. Okay, because we can have historical accounts of a person, we can have historical accounts of a place, object, event, or an idea, just like the topics of speaking part 2, right? You must create a timeline to keep track, okay? You can use your note paper for this. Okay, so what I mean by this is on your note paper, what you should have here is you should have Greeks or ancient Greeks, right? And then you should have Illyrians, something like that was the spelling, if I remember correctly. Ah, you're back, Naladri.
Yes.
You're back. There you are. So you have the Illyrians, and then your next timeline is the Romans. Okay. So that's what your timeline looks like, and you can even mark the year, right? So 200 BC. Okay. So does that make sense, everybody? Okay, about the timeline. So this is all that first body paragraph, ancient history. Okay, timeline. Have that timeline. You can call this B. And then obviously your second timeline is coming, which is going to be the next paragraph, C. Makes sense, right? So timelines are good. Take notes on that because that will help you to answer the questions really quickly. You can keep those timelines also by visualizing, right? So you are an ancient Greek with a toga, and now you have a more modern toga. You're Roman, right? Everybody knows what a toga is. A toga is the cloth clothing of the Greeks and the Romans. Okay, so that clothing there is called a toga. You are wearing a toga and maybe some slippers on your feet. Okay, so yep, there you go. Let's give you another hand there. There. Okay. You're giving an apple to your friend, or an orange. All right. Angel says you can't manage your time if you're taking notes. Wrong, Angel. Wrong. You can manage your time. So to take these notes, like what I showed you, Greek, Illyrian, Roman, B. So Greek, Illyrian, Roman, 200 BC, paragraph B. Okay, that note took me 10 seconds. Now, any question that deals with this time period, I know comes from paragraph B. That is way faster than skimming, scanning, or searching when I'm all done. Okay? Samaritan, unfortunately, I had to delete that masterpiece, but it was recorded, so it's good. So much faster. Good notes, Angel, save you time. Bad notes waste your time, and you're right in that sense. Okay, so learn to take good notes. Keep that in mind. Okay, students, good notes save time and lead to accurate answers. Bad notes waste time. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Okay, students, let's get back to the reading. We'll take another volunteer for the next paragraph. Let's see who's in here. Naladri, check out what's going on there on the mountaintop. I'm not sure. Okay. Kiyu was trying to volunteer last class as well, and I don't think got a chance. So are you ready? Let's see if Kiyu can hang out with us for quick reading. Yeah, Rohit, this class will be full of tips and tricks for the reading, like what I just said about keeping timelines in your notes. Okay? All right.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Q. How are you? Q, make sure you're using the audio.
I'm doing good.
Okay, Q, make sure you're using the audio through the website, not YouTube. YouTube has a delay. All right, Q, whenever you're ready, you can start reading from during the Byzantine period.
Yes, I'm ready now.
Go for it.
And during the Byzantine period, following the fall of the western half of the Roman Empire, Beirut was known as Purchas Palace, a name which were derived from Putera, the sister of Roman Emperor Theodosius II. This name was not given casually. Putera was highly respected throughout the empire and was considered a co-regent alongside her brother, the emperor. Beirut was given this name because it was an important center of culture, wealth, and beauty in the empire.
Okay. Q, what is this paragraph about?
I think that that is the paragraph is about why it is why is a name like a.
Read the first 4 words again.
During the Byzantine period following the fall.
Okay, that's the 5th. Just the first 4, right? So in the first 4 words, you have your answer. And keep this in mind, Q, and this is for everybody. Usually the topic of the paragraph, especially for body paragraphs, you will find in the first sentence, often in the first few words. So here it is about the
Byzantine period.
Yeah, exactly. Byzantine period. What was special about the Byzantine period from what we've read here?
I think that it is the name.
Kind of, but not so much. Read the last 8 words or 9 words.
It was an important center of culture, wealth, and beauty in the empire.
Okay, so what was good about the Byzantine period?
The important.
It was a period of prosperity. Do you know the word prosperity?
Yes, I know.
What does it mean, prosperity? Can you tell everybody?
Prosperity is like the wealth.
The good life.
The development.
The good life, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When we prosper, we're happy. That means we have food, clothes, homes, happiness. We can play games, read our books, enjoy life, right? Prosperity is a time of wealth, of good feelings, of good situations. And it sounds like the Byzantine period was a prosperity. Now, Q, quick question. Do you know the Byzantine? Are you familiar with the Byzantine Empire?
No, this is the first time I hear about it.
Okay, so this is a tip for everybody, all right? I strongly recommend reading about world history before you sit your IELTS exam. Not in great detail. You don't need to learn and memorize the names of every leader throughout world history, but you do need to know the last 4,000 years of global human history. It's a very smart idea. It can help you in a lot of situations. So let me give you a little bit of a history lesson here in brief, okay, Q? So the Roman Empire, when it collapsed, okay, at about around 600 AD, it divided into 2 parts. So the Roman Empire was so big that they couldn't manage it. So it divided into the Western and the Eastern Empire. Okay, the Eastern Empire of the Romans came to be known as the Byzantines. Okay, following me, Q?
Yes, I am.
Yep. Okay. So the western part of it remained the Roman Empire for a few hundred more years. Okay. The Byzantine Empire, so the Eastern Empire, had an emperor and an empress, and the Western had an emperor and an empress. Later, the Byzantine Empire also collapsed and became many other nations that we see today. Okay. But understanding the history of the Roman rule in the world and its collapse and its separation into the Byzantine and the Roman Empire would really help you to understand this kind of information. Other empires that you should be familiar with: the Egyptian Empire, the Turkish or Ottoman Empire, the Mongolian Empire, okay, the Mongolian rule of a big part of the world as well, the British Empire, the French Empire. There are certain empires that ruled big parts of the world throughout history, and it's a good idea to know their basic history, okay?
Yes.
All right. It's important. That was a short list, by the way. There are some others, right, that we should know. And current history, so 20th century history especially, is also good to know in great detail. So World War I, World War II, and so on. Okay? Those can really help you. So maybe not the most enjoyable reading and a lot of negative kind of war and conflict, but it's human history, so you have to know it. Okay, now when you're visualizing this, Q, you should be Pulcheria. So in this case, you're Pulcheria, the sister of the emperor, okay? All right?
Yes.
And you are beautiful, and this city is important, so you make sure that it's wealthy and it's beautiful. And you remember that this came after that last part of the timeline, okay?
Yes.
All right. Q, any questions about the reading section?
At the moment, I have no questions.
All right, good. Thank you for reading, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to express or explain the importance of that kind of global history, okay?
Yes. Thank you, Adrian.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye, Q.
Bye-bye.
All right, so again, everybody, reading about world history, if you and for some of us we did read about it, but it might have been 10, 20 years since we read that in middle school or elementary school, so it might be time for a refresher. Okay, and if you hate reading, at least watch a couple of documentaries or YouTube videos. If you type in Roman Empire, Mongolian Empire, Ottoman Empire, you will get 5-minute super dense lessons on the history of these places. Okay, all right. Let's take somebody else. Shah Jahan seems like a new person. Shah Jahan, you can certainly try. Give it a try. Are you ready? Okay, Shah Jahan, if you're there, let me know and you can jump right in. I should correct my writing there. Are you ready? Okay. All right, 6-3. So Kogoro Romori says in 395 AD, not 600. Yeah, it took a couple hundred years for that separation, but yes, it started to fall apart in the 400s. Yes, thank you for that, Kogoro Romori. Okay, Shah Jahan says, they're ready. Here we go. Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan.
Oh.
How are you?
Sir. Not bad.
Good. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Uzbekistan.
Awesome. Okay. Why are you taking the IELTS?
I'm taking IELTS. Actually, I need to for my studies. It's really important.
Okay. Yeah, as it is for many people, absolutely.
Study in the university in the future.
Mm-hmm. And speaking English well is just really important for global communication, tourism,
Yes,
business,
of course.
right? Okay. All right. Well, let's do it. So I've got the next paragraph up on the screen. Whenever you're ready, read from The Heart of. Hello. Not sure what happened to Shah Jahan, but it sounds like we suddenly lost the connection. There was a click sound. I'm not sure what happened there. Shak Jahan, maybe try refreshing the page and then volunteer again. Shak Jahan, don't give up because I have a feeling we can connect. So if you're listening to me through YouTube, I'm going to do a shift refresh as well, everybody, just to get a new link to our chat server. And then Shak Jahan, whenever you're ready, just refresh your page and connect again. I will see your name pop up, and then we'll get you volunteering. Okay. All right. Don't give up, students. In the face of challenge, always meet challenge with a solution. I see Maya in here, Fwang in here, Redham. It's good. I'm going to give Shak Jahan one more minute here, or half a minute, to kind of just get in there and hopefully connect. Okay. All right. Let's get somebody to read this paragraph in the meantime, and then Shak Jahan, when you reconnect, just check your connection and we'll check it out. Okay. All right. So Chahay would like to volunteer. Chahay, are you ready? Chahay was in here earlier, I think, as well. Chahay, if you're there, let me know and we'll form a connection. Okay. Chahay, I don't hear you. So you're going to have to check your connection. There might be a lot of us pinging the server right now. Not sure. Chahay, check your connection. Use a VPN. Students, especially new students, I highly recommend testing with somebody else before you link up. Okay. All right. Chayani, you've been so patient. Let's give Chayani a chance. Are you ready? Chayani seems to always be able to make a connection. Maybe Chayani's got a very good connection to the server. Chayani, if you're there, let me know.
Hey Adrian,
Hi Chayani, how are you?
I'm not that good today because I'm a bit under the weather.
Sort of hear it. Yeah, I'm kind of fighting
Yeah.
something as well, and I've got a lot going on. So, but lots of vitamins, lots of liquids, right?
Yes.
All right.
And then the weather is immensely bad.
Not immensely, terribly, terribly bad.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We don't usually say immensely bad. Terribly, terribly bad.
Terribly bad.
Okay. All right. Chayani, immensely, when you say immensely as an adverb, immensely means like a lot, a large amount. Okay. Okay. So, Chayani, whenever you're ready, read from The Heart of Bharat.
The heart of Bharat for centuries has been the castle atop a rocky hill on the north bank of the Osum River. The citadel of Bharat, as it is sometimes known, was begun before the Roman invasion, rebuilt by Thaddeus II in the 5th century CE, and rebuilt again in the 13th century by the local Byzantine government. At its peak, in the 1200s, the fortress housed thousands of citizens, 20 churches. The city was overwhelmingly Christian, one mosque, and other staff and services. To this day, hundreds of Albanians live within the castle walls, though most of the churches have been destroyed and the mosque exists only in minor ruins. Much of the housing remains intact from the period.
Okay, good. Chayani, what is this paragraph about?
I think the paragraph is mostly talk about the citadel of Bharat.
Exactly. Yeah, the citadel, which is the castle of Bharat. Yes, exactly. And did you visualize yourself in the castle?
Maybe I am a queen of the
Ooh, I like it. You're the queen of the castle, waving at your subject. Hi, everybody. Good for you, Chayani. Okay, Chayani, since I've got you, can you read the next paragraph as well, please?
The early modern period of Berat, 16th and 18th century, was dominated by the Ottoman Empire. Construction during the time reflected both of the Ottoman influence and the influence of Islam. By 1670, the city was to a home Muslim majority less than 100 years after being almost entirely Christian. The construction of this time period largely remained to the present day, and it is the origin of Berat nickname, the city of 1,000 windows, as the Ottoman aesthetic favored relatively large and plentiful windows. This design, along with the city layout along the hillside embankment of the Osum River, which allows visitors to see much of the city housing at one time, gave the impression that Berat was a city dominated by windows. To this day, visitors to the city quickly understand the city nickname as the windows continue to dominate the cityscape.
Okay. What is this paragraph about?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this paragraph talk about why the Berat city called the city of 1,000 windows.
Partly yes, but it is more about the timeline. And an important tip, this is for everybody, when you answer a question, try to avoid answering it with a question. So if I say, what is the paragraph about? Don't say why it is called the 1,000 windows. So that's a question answer to a question. It's not an effective way to have logic or information flow. So always try to answer that with a statement, okay? Take a look at the very first 6 words. Can you read that for me here?
Which one, sir?
The first 6 words at the top of the paragraph.
Oh, the early modern period of Berat, 16th century, and
so what is the paragraph about?
the first modern period of Berat.
Exactly right. So we're following that timeline. So again, keep that timeline in mind here, okay? So we're talking about the early modern history, right? The early modern history of Berat, which is characterized by what mostly? So what was the biggest shift here in Berat's history, early modern history? What was the biggest change? A shift to Islam, right?
Islam majority.
Yeah, from Christianity, right? Okay, so that was the big shift. And the architecture, okay, which came with that shift, right? Which was the city of 1,000 windows. So a very concise way to answer this one was the early modern history of Berat, a shift to Islam from Christianity, and the architecture of many windows. Okay, so that would be the concise, clear way to summarize that, okay? So always work on this, everybody, to be more concise, more precise, okay? Remember that topic sentence, okay, Chayani?
Okay, sir, I got it.
Okay. All right, Chayani, I hope you get better. Lots of fluids, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye,
See
Chayani.
you next time.
All right. So here we go. Let's try. Shohajon is back. Let's give Shohajon. Electricity went out. That will definitely stop the internet. Okay, power outage. It's called a brownout. When it goes out like that, it's called a brownout. Okay. Shohajon, are you ready? Hopefully you won't have another brownout. Maybe. Well, that was it. I think Shohajon might have just had another electrical issue there. Let's give Fuang a chance here. Fuang, are you ready? You've been very patient. Also one of our regular students, working very, very hard. Fuang seems to be able to make good connections with her laptop or home computer. So Fuang, if you're there, you're all ready to go, let me know. Okay, and everybody else, Chihei, I'll circle back to you, okay? We need people to help with the questions as well. Always ready. Okay. Fuang. Hi, Fuang. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you, sir?
I'm doing quite well, other than this flu or virus or whatever that's trying to attack me, but I'm not going to let it. So I'm doing okay. Fuang, are you ready to read?
I'm ready, sir.
Okay, so Fuang, when you're reading, what I want you to do is visualize and really focus on enunciating and pronouncing the words clearly, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, so start with the end of the Ottoman Empire.
The end of the Ottoman Empire in the early 20th centuries coincided with the rise of Albanian nationalism and the creation of the modern Albanian state in 1930s. Albania endured Nazi occupations in the 20th century, as well the iron-fisted rule of communist dictator Enver Hoxha from 1944 to 1985. Hoxha rules were commemorated on the site nearby small shipwrecks, one of the mythical change from the barrage
Okay,
origin
so
level
wait. Okay, Fuang, you are doing great. You're starting to speed up a bit and you're starting to decrease your pronunciation. So slow it down just like you did before and keep focusing on that pronunciation. One of the mythical giants from there, okay?
Okay, sir. One of the mythical giants from the barrage origin legends mentioned above in 1968 with the colossal paintings of his name. Visible for miles, the ladder is 100 meters high and 60 meters wide, dominated the skyline above Barrage for decades. If you visit Barrage today, however, the mountainside ladder looks slightly different. In 2012, as part of documentary film project, a 58-year-old farmer and his nephew fatally switched the first two ladders by power washing and repainting, resulting in the word "never" adorning the mountainside. Never again would the proud Albanian people fall into the grip of dictatorship, and never again would the people of Barrage venerate the past oppressor. Barrage, an ancient city which has been ruler and James regimes come and go, has been the once contest from the Iranians, Romans, and Byzantines to the Ottomans, Nazis, and Communists. Barrage has been through a lot, and still the city of a thousand windows persists unbroken.
Nice. Okay, good, Fuang. That's what you want to do. Nice, smooth, slow, clear reading, okay? A couple of words here. Repeat after me. Regimes.
Regimes,
Regimes.
regimes,
Constant.
constant,
Good. Okay. So when you realize, because you realize you're like, I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Highlight it. Ask Google for the pronunciation, and then practice the pronunciation. If you can ask someone like me or a native speaker, ask the native speaker. Okay.
okay, sir.
All right. Okay, good. So this paragraph is obviously talking about modern history, right? The recent history, the rule of communism, the rule of Nazis, the rise of the Albanians. So it's modern history, all right? And this last sentence is quite amazing. It says, and still the city of 1,000 windows persists, unbroken. Here is reading at the highest level. Why did the author... Fuang, this is a tricky question and I'm challenging you here, and everybody else in the chat can help Fuang. Why did the author use the word unbroken as the last sentence, or as the last word here? So what does that word mean in this sentence? And still the city of 1,000 windows persists unbroken. So why use that word, Fuang? It's a very clever word by the author.
Well, I think the author means that the barrage will last long in the futures, and the future generations won't forget barrage I think so, sir.
Okay, yes, you're right. So you have half of it, right? So the author is using this word to say that the spirit and the culture of Bharat continues, okay? So the spirit and culture of Bharat is strong and continues, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But the author is also playing with the word. What is the play with the word?
Not synonym.
Let's see if anybody in the chat is picking this up. Yeah, Amra. Do you see Amra's comment? So Amra realized the play with the words. So it's called the city of 1,000 windows, right? And when we think about windows, we think about breaking windows, right? Windows break easily. When you throw a rock at the window will break, correct, Huang?
Yes, sir. I agree.
So the play with the word is that even though there are 1,000 windows, they do not break easy. Okay? That's why the author is playing with the words here. Does that make sense? Do you see how
Yes,
that's
Yes,
the
sir,
author's
got it.
playing? Okay? So you can't break the spirit of the people and the windows don't break. All right. Fuang, great reading. Keep doing that kind of reading every single day, okay?
Okay, sir. I will practice my pronunciations.
Yeah, nice, smooth, aloud reading. Good job, Fuang. We'll talk again soon, okay?
Okay, bye-bye, sir. Have a good day.
You too. Bye, Fuang. All right, everybody. That was great, right? Elizabeth Jordan says, oh, yeah, that makes sense. It's the city of 1,000 windows, unbroken. It's the spirit and the culture of the people of Bharat, unbroken, right? So, reading, read. Comprehension. Pandian, are you there? One of our premium users here. Are you there, Pandian? I'm going to get your help with some questions here. Okay. Yes, that's right, Ilios. Remains the same as it will be. Remains strong, right? Okay, Pandian. Hi, Pandian.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, Pandian. How are you?
I'm doing great, sir.
All right, we're on the same page. That's awesome. Pandian, help me answer some questions here. So, ideally, students, when you're doing reading, and Pandian, when you're doing reading, okay, in the IELTS, and you're reading at the level of Chayani or you're reading at the level of Fuang or Ramelia, ideally, you're not searching for every answer. A lot of the answers should come to you from reading the passage once, okay? So, Pandian, if you can read an IELTS passage in 8 or 9 minutes, you should be able to answer 80% of the questions without looking at the passage. Let's try it, okay? Here we go. When you're ready, Pandian, read title of summary topic. Read from there.
Beginnings. The mythical origin of
No.
Bharat.
Read from title of summary topic. Always from the very top.
Sorry. Title of summary topic. Beginnings. The mythical origin of Bharat involves a battle between
To what?
concerned. Sir, I'm just now connected to this video.
Oh, no. You're going to have a really hard time answering
That's
these
my
questions.
blunder.
All right. Well, wait for it. Let's see if anybody can help you here. Let's see. Anybody in the chat, can you help out? It's the battle between two giants. See those words coming in? So there's obviously a lot of people that were paying attention to that. Okay. So go ahead and read that again from the mythical origin.
Okay, sure, I do that. The mythical origin of Bharat involves a battle between two giants concerning the affections of a certain woman named Tomar and Sipira. They live on today in form of two surroundings the city of Bharat.
Now, you didn't read this, right? So you probably have no idea what those two somethings are. But here is where logic comes in. If you had to guess, what do you think that might be? What do you think the missing word there might be? In the form of two what surrounding the city? What surrounds a city?
Any mountain or wall.
You got it. Mountains. Just make sure you use the plural because it's two, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. See, so here's another tip, everybody, and you just proved the point. The proof is in the pudding, right, as they say. Logic can help you as well, right? Usually it's surrounding. The mountains are hills or mountains. So here it's mountains, right? Mountains surround the cities. So it's two mountains. Yeah, absolutely. Giants, and now they're in the form of mountains. Okay. Keep reading. Read the next one. Violent strikes.
Violent strikes. Berat is thought to be about 2,500 years old. Soon after this time, when it was a Macedonian fortress, they destroyed the city and killed all males over the age of 15.
Okay. Who did that? So think about your history. 2,500 years ago, who in history was going around killing other countries and people? Try not to look at the you should. So if you remember your history, you will know.
I'm not getting, sir.
Okay, 2,500 years ago, there was one very powerful empire that was going around to many different places. They didn't get to India, but they almost got as far as India, I think.
Alexander.
Not Alexander. That was before. 2,500 years ago. Okay. So, but you're close. Okay. Well, no, I'm a bit off. Alexander was about there a little bit. Who came after Alexander? So, who came after the Greeks?
Romans.
Yes. There you go. Okay. There's your logic. So it wasn't the Greeks, but it was the Romans. Now you have to be more specific because Romans weren't just an army. Romans were a group of people, right? So it wasn't just it wasn't the Romans, but more specifically, and in the IELTS you want to be careful, it was the Roman army. Okay, the Roman army, right? Remember the choose no more than two words, right? And if you write Romans, you might get it wrong because it's not fair to say that Romans came and destroyed it, right? There were Romans that were living on the other side of the world, right? So they didn't all come and destroy it. It was the Roman army that did it, right? So Roman army, okay? All right, keep going. Read later.
Later, Berat was given the name because of its importance in culture and beauty in the Byzantine Empire.
Okay, now here, even if people know the answer because you were in the class earlier, I would highly recommend that for this question, you go and look at the spelling of this word, okay? So you have to find this one. So far, everybody, giants, mountains, Roman army, you should get these answers without skimming or scanning the text. If you are sitting the IELTS and you're searching for every single answer in the reading, you are not doing it correctly. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay? You shouldn't be searching for every single answer. That's not the way to get a high band score. You will run out of time and you will get a lot of answers wrong that way. Okay? This kind of answer you can look for. So in this case, if I'm looking for this answer, now I kind of remember where it is, but what is a good word to search? So what would you be searching for here? Later, Berat was given the name something because in beauty in the Byzantine Empire. What should I look for? What should I search for?
Importance in culture and beauty, sir.
No, I would look for something very specific like Byzantine Empire. The reason why is because in the passage, you might not see importance in culture and beauty. You might see some completely other words that paraphrase that, so you won't find those. But the author cannot paraphrase Byzantine Empire. They will use the word Byzantine Empire, okay? So search for the specific, what's called the proper noun. So search for the proper noun, like the name, okay? All right, so we go back and it's in here. So let me know so scan this and let me know what was the name of the city.
Pulcheriopolis.
Yeah.
Pulcheria.
Around. Don't try to pronounce it. I won't try to pronounce it. Okay, don't get lost in pronunciations. And on the IELTS, seriously, be careful. Don't get lost on pronunciation. Just make sure that you can copy it, and you don't have control copy paste. No, you do. I think you might have it in the computer based. One of our moderators might help me there, but I think you can control copy paste from the text. And somebody was asking, can you scroll back on the text? In the computer based exam, you see the text. It's beside the question, so you see it all the time. Okay. And I think, yes, Carolina just said, yes, you can copy paste. So you can copy paste, and that way you don't make the spelling mistake. Okay. All right, so just copy paste the name. Okay, let's do this last one. There's a couple more. Guarding Bharat.
Guarding Bharat. The fortress on top of awesome rivers, North Bank is known as the Dash of Bharat. It is over 1,500 years old and was repaired approximately 800 years ago. It once held many religious institutions, including a Dash and Christian house of worship.
Okay, good. So let's jump back to 31. And it's good to do what you're doing. So when you're trying to answer this question, it's good to read the whole piece and then go back and answer each space. So don't just look at the space out of context. Look at it in context. Okay. And we're getting some answers there from Electro and Chayani. It was known as the Citadel. Okay, we talked about this. Citadel of Bharat. Again, many of you will know this. You shouldn't search for it, and it will be there if you need to check the spelling. It once held many religious institutions. This should not be an answer that you search for, including something and 20 Christian houses of worship. 20 churches and one what? So the religion, there were two types of religions in Bharat. It was the Christian religion and the
Muslims.
Yeah.
Muslims.
And what is the Muslim house of worship called? It is a mosque. Exactly. Okay. So a mosque. So that had a mosque and 20 churches. All right. Good. You shouldn't be searching. Okay. Searching, and this is a very important tip for everybody. Skimming, scanning, and searching is usually your last strategy, not your first strategy. That's one of the most common mistakes in the reading section, is a lot of students think that skimming and scanning is the first strategy. It's not. It's your last strategy. Okay? Skimming and scanning is a last resort. Why do you think I say that skimming and scanning is a last resort? So it's a last strategy.
So first, before we have to read the passage completely, because true or false questions always comes with disturbing our thoughts. So always read first. Finally, only we have to skim and scanning.
Yeah, you're on the right track. So skimming and scanning takes a lot of time and is highly ineffective. So that's why it's usually your last strategy. Okay, it's very time taking. Like a lot of people say, oh, I run out of time. Well, it's probably because you're skimming and scanning for every single question, right? So that's usually why people run out of time. They just don't realize it, right? If you read it and answer 80% of the questions or 70% from reading it, there's no way you will run out of time. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for helping me with that, Pandyan, even though you weren't here for the reading. Okay. We're recording we're recording this, so after at some point, go back and check out the start of the lesson and read it. Okay. All right.
Sure, I'll do. Thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome. Bye. All right. Let's take one more here. So let's see if Chahay is still with us. Chahay. You're using a different microphone. Okay, Chahay, are you ready? Let's see if you were able to fix the issue there. Okay, students, check your systems. I know there's a lot to do, microphones and internet connections and VPNs, but do try to set it up before the class, okay? So, Chahay, let's give it a shot. If you're there, give me a sign and we'll look at those true, false, not givens together, okay? Thanks for the thumbs up, everybody. It was cool that Pandyan jumped in even though he wasn't there for the reading. And notice how a lot of questions you can answer even kind of without reading, like with just logic, right? You can almost figure it out. Rabin, I'm Canadian. I'm on the West Coast, Victoria. Okay, Chahay, I'm not seeing you there. Suman, are you ready? Maybe Chahey left for a cheese sandwich. Suman, I saw that you pinged me, so if you're still there, I know we got a 6-second delay, but yeah, you are. There you are. Suman, where are you? I know that you picked up, but I don't hear you. You have to figure out what's going on your end. It could be a VPN issue. Okay, so figure it out, guys. Unfortunately, we're not a billion-dollar company like WhatsApp, where it goes, your microphone isn't turned on, or you don't have a strong enough connection. Okay, so you have to kind of figure it out on your own. Even with WhatsApp and Skype and all those, you can have issues, but they can identify it because they have very smart bots, and they go, you have a weak connection. You need to unmute yourself. Your country is being blocked. Your server is blocked. We don't know what it is. You just have to try it out, okay? All right. Nat. Let's try it. Nat, are you ready? Nat says, I've just installed a VPN. I'm not sure, but I'll try. Nat, give it a shot. With VPNs, you can always change your routing as well. So if it doesn't work from one country, you change it to another country. Although some countries, firewalls are getting pretty smart even with VPNs now, unfortunately. Nat, I don't hear you, but don't give up. Now, what you should do, Nat, is try a different country. Try Japan, try Korea. If you can see it, they have very strong broad internet webs. So Japan, Korea, US has some really good webbing for the internet as well. Okay. So try Japan, try Korea, try one of those servers, one of those stronger servers there. Okay, Nat? So go into your VPN, try setting to a different city, okay? All right. Anybody else want to give the true, false, not given shot together? So we've got another volunteer there. Noor, Faraj, Mohammed, Maya. I know you've volunteered before as well. Give it a go. How about this? How about I try to do a reconnect to the servers as well, and then we'll go and we'll try to do it that way. So let me do a shift refresh here, everybody. So refresh your page, refresh your connection to our servers, to the website, and then we'll do this, okay? Rustam Beck, yeah, everybody can chat with me for sure. It's not just members, okay? So you can chat with me in this class even if you're not a premium member of the website or the channel, okay? So everyone. All right, I just did a big refresh and I see that there are some other students here. I want somebody to volunteer. I don't want to take away your thunder, okay? So it's your chance to shine. Give it a go. Okay, don't be shy. We just need one more volunteer to help us out with some of these true, false, not given questions. I'll give it, let's say, 10 more seconds, and then I'll do it by my lonesome. Oh, well, you can help me through the chat, obviously. Okay, let's do it that way. So just give me the answers through the chat. Okay, I'll show you the strategy for this before we run out of time. So this is a yes, no, not given question. It's like a true, false, not given question. Okay, the trick or the tip here is first you have to figure out if the information is important for the passage. If it's important, it is likely given. Okay, if it's not important, mark it not given, and then move on. Okay. Once you figure out that it's given, figure out if it is true or false. If it's true, it's a yes. If it's false, it's a no. So here we go. Number 33. The Ottomans, read with me and then tell me, okay? The Ottomans had a significant influence on Islam during the early modern period. Okay? So here the question that I ask is, for the city of Berat, is it necessary to know the Ottoman influence on Islam during the early modern period? Yes or no? Amra says it's not important, it's not given. I agree with Amra. NG. Okay? There are actually two reasons that I'm sure of this answer even without reading. So notice this, students. I can actually get this answer without even reading the passage. Okay? Gisela, an interview would definitely not be enough, especially not for university. They tried that before and they had some serious issues. So there's a reason why we have IELTS now. They tried just an interview and then realized that university students don't know how to write essays. And a university professor cannot teach you to write essays. They don't have time. It's not their job. Okay, so unfortunately IELTS or some similar test like TOEFL or some of the other ones, they're not going anywhere. Okay, they have to test your reading, listening, writing, speaking. They need to make sure that you can follow the classes in university and your job and so on. Okay, so it's not going anywhere. All right, let me tell you, so let's get back to the point here. The Ottomans had a significant influence on Islam during the early modern period. It's not given for two reasons. First of all, it's not important for the city of Berat. It's not the target of this, okay? Secondly, it's incoherent. So here, I can figure this out because it's incoherent. It would be the other way around. Islam had influence on the Ottomans. Not really the other way around. Okay, so you'll sometimes notice that these not given questions, they're also logically flawed. They're logically inaccurate. So it seems like that could make sense, but it actually doesn't make a lot of sense. Islam influenced the Ottoman Empire, not the Ottoman Empire influenced Islam. Okay, there is a little bit there, but it's not. So it's not given for those two reasons. It's very clear. Okay. Number 34, Berat's nickname derives from the Ottoman aesthetic that was favored during the modern period. Okay, what's the nickname? It's the City of 1,000 Windows. Is it important? Yes. It is literally the title of the passage, the City of 1,000 Windows, Berat. So is it important? Yes, 100%. Is it true? So when it's yes, it's given. Is it true? Yes. So the answer is yes. Okay. The Ottoman aesthetic, which is lots of windows during the early modern period, created the nickname for Berat. So here it's a very clear yes. You should not be skimming and scanning and searching for these. It's extremely difficult, if not impossible, number one. Number two, the answer is in front of you. It's not in the passage, it's in front of you. Okay? Don't write true. It's a yes, no, not given. Okay? Berat was ruled by Nazis and communists in the 20th century. Important? Yes. Why? It's the history of Berat. It's given. As soon as you see Berat in the question, I mean, you should be thinking it's probably important, right? So, given? Yes. Is it true that Nazis and communists ruled Berat in the 20th century? For those of you who read the passage, it should be very quick. Yes. The modern Albanian state began in 1944. Tricky, right? Important. Berat is in Albania. Important? Probably. because Berat is Albania, so it's maybe given. This is where I search. So I look for Albania because that's the name here, right? And I look for 1944. Okay, so let's take a quick peek. That's going to be somewhere near the end. Okay, the end of the Ottoman Empire in the early 20th century coincided with the rise of Albanian nationalism and the creation of the modern Albanian state in 1913. Okay, so Albanian state in 1913. Now here I do see 1944, okay, but this is the first rule of the dictator Enver Hoxha. It's not the rise of the Albanian state. So it is given, it is important. I realize that, yeah, it's probably important, okay, but it's false. So here the answer is no. So it's important, given, false, no. Okay, everybody following my logic there? Looks like a lot of you are. Okay. All right. Students, I have unfortunately run out of time, but fortunately for you, that leaves you with these last 3 questions and this multiple choice question to do on your own. And that's what I recommend for homework. So now that you understand how the true, false, not given questions work, okay, everybody good on that? Yes? If you're not, there's a video on our YouTube channel that explains just the true, false, not givens. I saw somebody ask me about the list of headings. There's another video on our YouTube channel that's just about the list of headings. So check that out, okay, if you're not sure how to do it. Solve these last 3 questions on your own, or sorry, last 4, number 40 as well, the multiple choice. And students, learn all the reading strategies from the website, okay? It's in your course in the reading section, so check it out. Go to the website, aehelp.com, and sign up for the premium IELTS package. Click the big red button that's just right above my head there. Okay, it's a one-time payment, lifetime access. You're good to go. All right, that's it for today. Tomorrow I'm back with part 1 and 2, speaking. Okay, so make sure to visit us for that. aehelp.com, academic IELTS, GIELTShelp.com, general IELTS for general IELTS reading strategies. Awesome work, everybody, today. Really great work, okay? I was very happy to hear your reading, your thinking, your volunteering. Keep that going, okay? And come back tomorrow for more speaking. Much love to all of you wherever you are, and I hope your weekend continues to be fantastic. I'm Adrian, and I'm signing out from Victoria for now. Bye, everybody.